think it's amazing that California, who many people think of as Silicon Valley and Hollywood, is actually one of the poorest states in the country.
We caught up with Ann O'Leary at First Awakenings, one of Salinas' most popular breakfast spots at 171 Main Street. She's a director of Next Generation, a nonpartisan think tank based in San Francisco. O'Leary says the new census data shows California not only has the most poor people in the nation, but the highest rate among all states. And children, particularly minority children, are hit the hardest.
You know, we're sitting here in Monterey County, and it's very striking that, 30% of kids who are Hispanic are in poverty, but less than 8% of white children are in poverty. They're already working incredibly hard. So this isn't about people getting social welfare who aren't working. This is about how do we make sure that they have an ability to provide for their families.
Listen to the story of Arturo Manzo's family, and you'll understand what O'Leary's talking about. Arturo is a second-generation farm worker and lives here with his wife and 2 kids. The Manzos live in another labor camp in the valley, along with about a dozen other families. There's no streetlights, no bus service. It's just out there in the middle of the fields. Without a car, you're stuck. Arturo became a legal resident following the amnesty program back in 1986. He picks celery for a major food company, a company, he says, that for 27 years never gave him or his co-workers a raise.
When I first started, I used to make about $500 a week, and that's what I make now. But back then, things were much cheaper.
Fieldwork is a tough job that very few American citizens are willing to do. The Department of Labor ranks it among the most hazardous jobs in the country. They're exposed to the weather, pesticides, and hours of backbreaking work, many for just over minimum wage.
Farm work is very difficult. It's very hard. Because we're out in the sun, we're out in the wind, we're always wet. It doesn't matter what the weather is, we have to work. Just to make $8 an hour, maybe $9 an hour.
Like many farm workers, Arturo is only offered seasonal work and earns about $10,000 a year. His wife is a hairdresser, so together they earn about $25,000 a year. Their rent is $700 a month for this small 3-room apartment.
You can see how I live. There are no luxuries, there's no new cars, there's no new clothes. I can only afford the basic necessities. And I don't know how to explain it, but somehow we make it.